Welcome back, everyone, to Street Signs live from Riyadh, the money capital of the Middle East and the capital of oil around the world. We wanted to get the perspective from Saudi Arabian CEOs, and joining us to do that now, a man who can do it perfectly. Yasir Al-Rumayyan is the CEO of Saudi Forensic Capital, brokerage, investment banking, you name it, you're in it, asset management, and thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much.
You also, of course, have been involved with the Saudi capital markets before you are running this company.
Yeah.
Let me give you a chance right up front to make the case for how Saudi Arabia has been dealing with some of the tough issues we've been talking about, from unemployment to not having open markets, a lot of issues. You wanted to point to how Saudi Arabia has grown its GDP. Give me those two numbers. They're pretty stunning.
So the GDP numbers, very impressive. For 2010, the GDP was 434 billion versus 214 billion in 2003.
So you've doubled in size.
Exactly. And also, if you look at the GDP per capita, $16,000 versus $9,700 in 2003.
So in your view, is that evidence that the government here has been creating more wealth and spreading it more equally through society, which of course is as important of a question?
Yeah, okay. For the past 5 or 6 years, the government has been undergoing a huge spending program on the infrastructure and building universities, building airports, building railways, and economic cities. So I think it will eventually trickle down to the medium-sized companies and to the real economy very soon.
I wanted to ask you a question on a story that got coverage in the U.S., and it won't surprise you that it did, given what's happening in Cairo. A Reuters story headline this: activists call rail protest in bloody Saudi city. It was last week in Jeddah, protesting against poor infrastructure, described as a rare expression of dissent in an absolute monarchy. Let me just ask you, as a business person, are you worried about this sort of thing?
Okay, well, things are improving, let's say. The infrastructure now is improving. What happened in Jeddah last week happened before last year. I don't know if things got worse or better, but the thing is, it has attention now to it.
And can the government here afford to continue a lot of the generous subsidies that it already provides? I mean, there was a report out today that said it would be tough for Saudi to continue increasing those because of the fiscal situation.
I'm really not sure about this statement. I think the government will continue, spending more and more on the infrastructure, and hopefully things will be for the better.
Okay, so if people believe in your view of the economy and think that it's growing and think that it's a good place to put money, how do they do that right now? If you're a retail investor, it didn't seem that easy.
Yeah. So the Saudi market is opening up. It started opening up in 2006 through giving access for foreign investors to come to Saudi through mutual funds. After that, in 2008, we started something called swaps, which is an access product which will give you the beneficial ownership of the underlying stocks. So if you want to buy like SABIC or any Saudi bank, Saudi Forensic Bank, for instance, you call your broker. Your broker should have a counterpart in Saudi, and he will buy the shares. The Saudi will keep the legal ownership. The beneficial ownership will go to the counterpart in the U.S. or anywhere else. And
your view was it's not that complicated if you have a brokerage account. So that's something people could do at home if they saw those two numbers and they inspired them. All right, well, thanks so much. We really appreciate your taking the time to join us.
Well, thank you very much.